Hey, welcome back to Roll Move Repeat. I am Sean.
I'm Mandy, bringing big meeple energy and questionable strategy choices.
And I'm Sean, version 2, now with built-in AI.
Hey, welcome back to Roll Move Repeat. We've just returned from PAX East 2026. Tired, broke, and somehow in possession of way more board games than we can reasonably explain to our families. Tonight on this episode, we're going to be all about the sacred post-convention ritual of unpacking the hall. You know, the ones where you open your bags and go, oh, that's right, I did buy that at Sunday at like 6 p.m. We got the impulse buys, the demo table temptations. I can't talk tonight. I don't know what that's about. And at least one game that we're pretty sure we bought slowly on the box art that made eye contact with us. So sit down, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get ready to roll, move, repeat. So tonight, as you said, we were going to be talking. As I said, we're going to be talking about PAX East. We went there and had a blast. It was such a fun weekend. It was Sean, Mandy, and families. We all went. It was great. I brought my son. We had a blast. What we're going to do is just unpack what we've seen, talk about the games we played, and we're just going to jump right into it. But Mandy, you said you had some questions you wanted to ask us before we started.
I have questions. Yep.
All right, jump into
it. So what would you say, and I was kind of thinking this while I was there, what would you say is the one thing you really wanted to do but you didn't get to do? Or vice versa, something maybe you didn't even expect to do but then you ended up doing and loving? Like, because there's so many things that, like, you can try board games, you can try video games, you can go into different rooms. And there was a whole thing about video games you can smell, which was crazy. But like, was there anything you really wanted to try and you didn't get to try?
There was a couple tabletop games that caught my eye that I never got to do the demos of. One was Guldak. They had a really big booth. I wanted to check that one out. And what was that other one? There was another one that was, oh man, I can't remember what the name of it was at this point. It was like another medieval like fighting card battle game, which looked so cool. One of the things I did get to try, which I never get to do, is the Friday Night Frenzy, which was a blast.
That was really fun.
That was so fun. We will be talking about that during the podcast because we have some of the games from it that we're going to be talking about. But
yeah,
but that's me. Sean, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Well, I hate this to be a little bit of a spoiler for later in the podcast, but I really wanted to try to play the game Slay the Spire, the board game. Except every time we went to check it out, there were no copies available.
None.
Until about 4:30 on the last day, like an hour and a half left, which gave us enough time to set it up and say, well, that looks pretty. I guess
now it's time to put it all back in the box.
It's time to put it in the box. So yeah, so I would have enjoyed actually playing Slay the Spire, the board game. So I'm perhaps another day.
Someone happened to play it. I don't know who, but maybe we'll figure that out later. Mandy, what about you?
There was definitely some board games. I wanted to, in general, I'd say, play more board games than I did. I feel like PAX East, there's just so much going on that I kind of wander around in like a dreamless haze, being like, what do I do? There's just so much. I could go over here. I could go over here. It's like, I don't know. I probably have like a form of ADHD where I'm just like, I don't know what to focus on because there's just so much and there's so many flashy lights and bells and whistles. So I feel like I just wanted to play more board games and sit down and play them. And I didn't get very many. I got a few. I did the Friday Night Frenzy, so that was good. But other than that, I didn't play a ton of board games. And I really, at Unplugged the past time, I played a ton. And I really, really liked that about Unplugged. So that I was kind of bummed about. But nothing super specific, but just in general, I was hoping to play more board games.
Sean, was there anything that you got to do? Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say it is crazy. Like you start Thursday morning and you think to yourself like I have 4 days. I have so much time to do everything, and then suddenly it's like noon on Sunday, and they're like, oh crap, I only have like a few hours left.
I haven't done this, this. Yeah. Yep.
Sean, was there something that you did that you were pretty excited to get to the table, or anything else? Like, even because again, PAX East is also video games too. So was there something that you got?
That's true. I did a lot of, I got some good pins, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later with the pin trading. There was a board game I was really interested in. I got to try. Um, yeah, I feel like for the most part, I got to do everything that I wanted to.
Nice.
There's a few video games that looked interesting, but I was kind of like, I don't need to stand in the line to try the demo. I can check that out at
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna actually jump right into it because you are Mr. Pin Trader himself. There, you and Eddie. So let's get into that little segment of the pin trading. So yeah, bring it up, man.
yeah, so Penny Arcade is the kind of pin trading portion of Penny Arcade. Penny Arcade is what hosts PAX. There's four different PAX gaming conventions, and PAX East is in Boston, which we go to. I got into the pin trading at PAX a couple years ago, and I blame Andy's cousin Ed for getting me hooked.
Ed, if you're listening to this, it's all your fault.
This is all your fault. I will say that I feel like I joined at a pretty good time because they seem to have found their groove in the last 5 to 6 years. Every year PAX has a theme, and the pins will match that theme. They have a specific kind of show pin for each of the four PAX locations. They'll have limited edition pins for each show, and each year they have sort of this set of what they call staff pins that you can play these games to acquire. You have to trade a pin, and you play this little game, and you try to get one of like the 7 pins, and one of them is like considered rare. And to trade these pins, you have like what a lot of people refer to as fodder pins, and so because it has to be an official Penny Arcade pin that you trade, and there's a bunch that are kind of worth less that collectors don't consider to be as valuable. So like I said, they call them fodder pins, and there's places where you can get kind of bulk fodder pins. There's some booths that will also have trade boards. You can trade any pin you have for on their board, one for one. Um, so before each show, they have what's called a pin quest, which is announced about a week or so before the show, which announces all the new pins that will be available for the show. Mostly, you just go to a vendor booth and maybe you purchase them. They can be anywhere between $10 and $20, but some pins you have to do a little work for. You might have to participate in a game demo or follow a game on social media, or maybe there's a scavenger hunt. And it's worth noting that the pins you have to work for are usually worth more to collectors afterwards than the pins you can just straight up buy. Every show has a pin trading event where collectors with big and small collections will show what they have to trade. Many of these collectors will also hang out near the official trading booths during the day. I've over the last couple of years, I've kind of gotten to recognize some of the collectors. Now they've been doing this for a couple of years, and some of the collectors are really easygoing. Some of them are much more business, and there's plenty of people in between. There's also collectors who just trade for the fodder pins, and so if you have a pin that's maybe worth a bit more, they'll kind of offer you a number of fodder pins so you can trade for it. Um, that's kind of a very brief overview of the experience. I've really been enjoying it. I did really well this weekend. I really filled out a lot of the pins that I was looking to add to my collection. There's still like kind of two holy grail pins that I'm on the lookout for, but unfortunately, they're pins that everybody else wants to as well. So it's probably gonna take some work, or maybe just some money to get them.
So listeners,
But
if you have these pins, so Sean, what are the pins so far? Listeners maybe want to gift you one. Maybe I'm hoping.
yeah, right. These are like $300 pins. So I mean, we'd have to have some very loving listeners. The two that are in high demand that I've been on the lookout for. One is it's a Moogle. If you're called the Moogles from Final Fantasy VII,
Yep.
there's a little Moogle pin, and the other one is Bowser from the Super Mario Brother 3 blind box set from like 2017. Those are two and the problem is, like I said, everybody's looking for those two. They're in very short supply. The people who have them don't want to let them go, so they're hard to get.
Well, maybe we can
Nice.
start a GoFundMe for your last two pins.
There you go. Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kickstarter for Sean's pins.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But I've had a lot of fun doing it. I tend to disappear for hours, and anybody's looking for me. Sean,
We're like
Sean,
pins.
Sean and Amanda be like, "Where's everybody?" I'm like, "I'm trading pins." Of
Pins.
course you are.
Of course.
Yeah,
Where else would you be?
Sean gets up when we went to PAX Unplugged. He got up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Was out the door. We're like still in bed. And he's like, "See you later. I'm going to get pins."
Okay.
Yeah,
I know him and Ed, both of you.
That is one of the things I do find annoying is that they have like these limited edition pins, and the only way you can really get them is that you basically have to get in line really early so you can get them. And I don't love that part of it, but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it happens. But I mean, I'm really glad you got your pins because I know you showed up on what, day 1 or day 2 when you were trying to get the pins, and then you weren't able to get them. So
Yeah, so yeah, I got a lot of the ones I was looking for. So my collection is really is looking
Growing.
pretty good these days.
should we give a
We
shout
need
out to Ethan for making sure he
Oh
was in
yes,
line?
get
yes.
in line.
Yeah.
Ethan and Tara, who volunteered to get in line Friday morning to get me the limited edition pins. Uh,
What were you gonna say, Mandy? I
I one
cut
of
you
the
off. I'm
kid.
sorry.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I think there should be a shout out to me who got up with
Oh,
Ed because Sean didn't have to get up with Ed. So I got up with Ed and I drove in and I got in line for pins at stupid o'clock in the morning. That was no fun.
shout out to Mandy.
Yeah. I think he paid me
So
for that
so
pin.
you blame Ed too for the
Yeah.
pin trading.
For lack of sleep. Yes.
All right, we're gonna jump to our next game that I get to talk about because it was such a fun game. Flag Rascals. It's actually it kickstarted and funded in less than 5 hours. So I actually got to meet this
Wow.
whole team. I mean, this team is a passionate team. They have all the passion behind it. Connor Galuli, Nick Collins, Riley Burns, Keegan Collins, no relation from what they were joking telling me. Julian McBain and Ashlyn Lusk. Um, this game is a 2 to 4 player game. Basically, you're playing capture the flag on like in the woods. How do I describe it? I mean, if you think back to like your childhood and you think about those movies where kids are playing in the woods and they're just out there having a lot of fun, and that's what it reminded me of. Like being a bunch of kids playing capture the flag with each other, a whole bunch of friends, trying to get that flag and get it back to their base. It was just a fun little game. Unfortunately, I
It's
didn't
like
get
a
to
Boy
play the.
Scout camp.
Yeah, it was it was so cool because I really wish I got to play the full game. I got to play the quick demo, and basically you are choosing a roster of kids to be on your team, and then you use those kids to go collect the flag, and each kid has a special ability. And then you choose one captain, and they got a super ability that they get to use. So it's a really cool concept. You capture the flag on the other side, and as you're moving across, you have these little terrain cards. Some could be traps, some could be just be an open field, and you just keep moving along. It was such a fun game. When you get tagged, like when again you're bringing the flag back to your thing, you're going to get tagged. What do? You roll a dice. So Sean, you will not like this game. But anyways,
Oh,
I was playing against Keegan, and it was one of those things where I moved my person up to get the flag, and all of a sudden he moved his person over, and I had a 1 in 6 shot of rolling like the double escape because my child that I was using was exhausted, and because he ran up to get the flag. So he was exhausted. So I had to roll this dice and I had to get a double escape. And wouldn't you know, I rolled it. Uh, so I had the luck that Sean does not have with dice. But anyways, um, but yeah, and then I got to then I used my special ability from my other person to get the person out of reach of everyone and get back. It was such a fun game. I am so glad that they kickstarted this. That they funded it on Kickstarter. I have backed it myself. I think this is something that will get played because it's a lot of fun. And for the team, you guys were amazing. Thank you so much for answering my questions when I was talking to you guys. It was awesome, and I'm really glad that you guys got funded. So
What do
I
the
assume it's a
pieces look
two-player
like?
game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna also
what's
ask.
that? Go ahead.
What do the
So I
what do the
assume it's a
pieces
two-player.
look
I
like?
assume
Sorry.
Sean, we'll start with
we're
you.
talking to each other.
Sean, we'll talk
I
with
assume
you.
it's a two-player game.
It's 2 to 4, 2 to 4 players.
Two.
So when you play
So
4 players, you're
on
literally taking the teams and going back and forth.
okay, so like you're on teams too, because like I'm trying to figure out how like a capture the flag could be done with 4 players, like each with their own team. I assume it's like a team two versus two v two teams. I assume.
Yeah, yeah. So you work
Okay.
together and try to get your teams out. Mandy, what was your question?
What do the pieces look like? Because I love the drawings on here, but is it just that on cardboard? Like what do they look like?
It's little chips. So
Okay,
they have little chips that have the kids' faces on them. So you
cool.
know which one's moving and everything else. And like I said, there's a bunch of cards, tiles that are laid down, and right now they're all face down. So when you move over it, they flip up so you can see what's underneath it. So again, you can hide traps on the table. Like you can hide, so all of a sudden like it slows you down or you can't move. So it's a really cool concept. It was really fun. Like I said, it was such a fun game to play, and and Keegan, I spoke to Keegan the most. So Keegan, thank you so much for talking to me, and it was great. I really appreciate it. So that is Flag Rascals for me. Now we get to Mandy and I get to kind of rub something in Sean's face right here.
Guess what we got to play?
I'm gonna let Mandy.
You were
when
off.
Did you guys play that?
You were off pin trading or something.
He was at that point. He was off pin
he?
trading. Yeah, that was when he was pin trading.
It was Sunday morning, right?
Yep.
That we played this. We finally get to play.
Yep.
So we didn't realize the whole time. We kept looking for it in the board game library to take out, and it was always out. And I think on like Saturday afternoon, somebody said, "Oh, they're demoing it on the floor," and we're like, "What? How did we miss this?" So we went and checked it out Sunday morning, and we checked it out just early enough that we were able to sit down right away. Because after that, there was like a ton of people trying to line up. But yeah, it's a really fun, interesting game. It reminded me of a bunch of different games, and I'm trying to get out the people who made it. One second, I have it.
By the way, just 1 sec, just for podcasters, I'm not sure we actually said the name of the game.
Oh,
so it's
Slay the Spire. Sorry. Just throwing it back to what we were talking about
The
before.
image came up and we laughed about it, but I was like, I don't think we actually said the name.
We probably didn't. The designers, excuse me, are Gary Dworetsky, Anthony Giovanetti, and Casey Yano. Artists are Bruce Brennisi, Jose David Lanza Sabrian, and Anilis Dorta, and the publisher is Contention Games. It's a big mouthful there. But so we played an act. There's 3 acts.
Mm-hmm.
We played 1 act very quickly. We didn't really use the board for moving up, but from what I understand, and I have not played this game as a video game, but from what I understand, it is a fantastic representation of the video game, that they really, really did like 99% of everything is moved over, and they did it in a very thoughtful, well done way. I can't speak to that because I've never played the video game, but from what I did play of this, it kind of reminded me of Clank and Gloomhaven, and there was another game too, and I can't think of what it was, but it was just like this weird combo of games that was like, there was a fighting element, but it was a very simple fighting element. It wasn't Gloomhaven.
Yep.
It wasn't crazy. It's a lot simpler. It's cooperative, but it's deck building. It was just like, had a lot of interesting aspects to it all mixed together, and I thought that was fun. I didn't super feel the need to run out and buy it, but I feel like I'm going to know people here that will own it, and I will be able to play with them.
So yeah, actually we didn't even play 1 act. We only played 1 fight. Like we only had
1 fight.
Yeah, it was
That's
1
right.
fight. It wasn't even it was
not because we didn't get to the boss. They showed you how to get to the boss.
They showed you, yeah. We only got through 1 fight, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is a good translation from the video game. I lost countless amount of hours playing that video game. I mean, countless amount of hours.
Yeah.
And seeing the board game was really cool. Now, I want to go out and get it because I would totally play this, and it can be, I think it is 1 to 4 players. The problem is the one word that's in there that doesn't fit we don't fit in that doesn't fit in my family because of that, but yeah, it's such a cool translation. They have the defect, they had I can't think of all the names. I played the defect because that's one of my favorite characters. We had the brute, which was you, Mandy, and then we had the guy playing the oh man, I can't think of what they are. I'm drawing a blank on the names. Anyways, the other 2, I
felt like I was thrown in.
Yeah, one was the poisoner, and the other one is the mystic that can go from calm to aggro really quick. So it was such a good translation of that game. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that people missed out, because they were pin trading, but
all right. Listen, buddy.
My cousin Sean, shockingly also called Sean, he owns this game, and he's been wanting to play with all his cousins. So I feel like I'll play it soon.
I have to take a few shots at Sean right now because I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Sean and I had a bet about who had the most shame on their shelves, and I know this is like the third episode we're talking about it. However, because I had the most shame, I had to shave my goatee off. So I'm trying to take so I'm a little aggravated about that right now. So I'm gonna take shots at Sean, but yeah. But anyways, yeah,
That face is looking baby smooth.
baby
That's
smooth
right.
now, baby smooth. But anyways, it's such a great game. It's such a good translation, and Mandy, I'm glad we got to try it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
All right, we're gonna jump it over to our next game, Magical Athlete, which we all got to play. I'm gonna turn it over to you guys and tell me what you guys think.
I just talked a lot, Sean. Tell you.
Sure. So Magical Athlete, it was designed by Takashi Ishida and Richard Garfield. Yes, that is the same Richard Garfield who invented Magic the Gathering. The artist was Angela Kirkwood and is published by CMYK. So I gotta say, when our friend Ethan first plopped this down the table, I thought, you roll dice, move your piece, and repeat. Who wants to play a game like that?
Somebody who likes Monopoly.
Uh,
And
anyone? Anyone?
someone who doesn't
Catch
like to
my
play dice.
no, no. Anybody enjoy my little pun there?
What?
I
We're
didn't
not
catch
getting
it.
it.
Move and then repeat. Come on! I'm sorry.
Oh my
man,
God.
I didn't even catch it. I
Goodness
didn't even catch
gracious,
it.
you guys.
All right. We have to start this all over. Hold on.
Start it over.
Start
Make
all
sure you
over.
laugh at my pun. All right. Anyway, so so anyway, there's a so and that is kind of how you basically you've got your little character, you roll your dice, you're moving, you're trying to get to the so like you're trying to be the first person to the goal. But there's a bit of a twist which made the game kind of fun and really silly. Every piece has a specific has a different power, and you play a different character on each of the four races, and it would just get totally chaotic with one person would move and it would trigger two or three other players powers who would all kick in, and then pieces were getting tripped, they're getting moved up and down. Sometimes people were getting just completely removed from the game, and while a game like this could sound frustrating to play, we were all just kind of laughing and having a great
Mhm.
time with the absurdity of it.
Yeah.
Um, I think it helps that for the most part the powers aren't targeted. Like, I think there was like one person that could there was one that could like actually pick somebody and be like, oh, you're gonna do this. But for the most part, it's just like you move and just things automatically happen. So like it never felt really personal when something happened, you get bumped back or move or tripped or whatever. Also, the races were pretty quick, so the stakes felt kind of the stakes didn't feel very the stakes felt low.
Yeah.
This wasn't a game where you're like 2 hours in and 1 point away from winning, and then someone drops a robber on you and stole what you needed to win. Just it kind of felt very silly and very fun. I could see my kids enjoying this. I'm not sure I'll run out and buy it, but it was fun. It was definitely a
Yeah.
fun to play that PAX game. I think this could be a fun party game.
Yeah. It was a good time. I will say I think the flip flopper, that was one of the characters you could be, and I feel like that one was just a little bit overweighted. It felt
Mm.
like that person was always gonna win, and I played with that one once, and I think Ethan did in both those rounds, we won. Whoever had the
Mm.
flip flopper won.
Yeah,
I feel like that one was a
yeah.
little overpowered, but
Maybe a
Some
little bit of balancing is necessary,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
someone had the one that I kept getting ahead and then pulling back. Like I think it was Tara that kept like I would get ahead to everyone. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm looking so far ahead," and all of a sudden Tara's like, "Nope, you're coming
Nope.
back to me." And I was like, "Oh, what the heck?"
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. So that was one of the few that like you could actually target someone, but like I said, like all the others, it just kind of the powers just triggered and things just happened. So
Yeah.
yeah,
it didn't feel like there really wasn't a lot of take that. It was just say
no,
oh, this is just what happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no. It was, yeah, like you said, it wasn't a lot of take that, but you can slow down the other people. Like you can trigger your power to do something. I had the one where the caterpillar was like, if you roll the one, you don't move, but I do, and
Mm.
like Sean, you roll
Oh, it was
ones all the time, and you weren't
yeah.
rolling
Oh, it
ones
was
at
killing me.
all. Like
Yeah.
you hurt me because you weren't rolling your ones. Like that was the problem. Like oh, Sean's gonna roll a one. Ethan rolls ones all the times. I'll be fine. I'll just keep moving along. And I think you guys rolled two ones the whole time, and that
Mhm.
they murdered me. I couldn't. Oh man. that
There was
just
there
stopped
was
me.
one spot where like I kept hitting that like there's the one thing that I would land on it. It would make me move back 4 spaces.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I hit that like
Oh,
three
yeah.
times in a row.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I remember that.
And then I went right by you. I'm like, "Bye, guys.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll stay over here."
Yep. It's such a fun
Yeah, it's
game. It was
good.
such a fun
It
game.
is. It was
Yep.
really fun.
It was very silly.
That's great. And I want to I won't run out and get this, but it's definitely something that's on my
Yeah.
radar to get at some point.
I think it's
Mm.
hard. It feels like a game that you really need. You don't necessarily need a lot of people, but I think it would make it more fun with a lot of people. And we
Yes.
had what, six or
6
eight,
of us.
We had
7?
we had six. Yeah.
6. And so
Six.
it felt
Six.
like enough. That was good.
Yeah.
It was a good number. But like if you had just 2, like it's usually going to be me and my husband at home here playing games. Like I could maybe like bribe my kids into playing, and then we'd have 4. Like I just, but
Yeah.
it's we need 2-player games mostly. So
Yeah. No, this is definitely a game that you want like 6 or 8
yeah,
players playing because it just adds to the chaos.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to play this with you guys again. I had a lot of fun with it. And it
Yeah,
was such a fun time.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna talk about our next game, which we've actually talked about last week. Is Duat. This is put out by Unphased Games, created by Caleb Carvalho and Cade Khan as the artist. If you tuned in last week, you heard that. Oh my God, Devin was on with us, and Devin is part of the Unphased Games publishing group. Sean and I got to sit and play this game a couple times. We played like 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
at the Night Moves booth, and it was a fun game. It was
Yeah.
the strategy behind it was pretty killer. Like you
I
had
could
to plan your moves.
Yeah, I could definitely see, because Devin had talked in the last podcast. He talked about growing up playing a lot of chess and everything. I could see some of that influence in the design of this game.
Yeah, yeah. It's so for those again for those who tuning in. Basically, what it is, each person gets 3 tiles, and on it looks like a little scarab with a little half of a sun. And on your turn, you are trying to push the other team's scarabs off the map, and you only have to push one off to win. Now the problem is that if the suns line up, you can't push them off, so you kind of have to push them off from the back or the side, and that takes a lot of strategy. You're literally trying to outthink the other person to make a mistake. And I played it with Riker as well, and to say your brain starts melting playing this game is not something that is out of the realm of it. Like it is such a heavy thinking game, which can be a lot of fun.
Mm.
I kickstarted this when it came out and it went live. And then what I did is, instead of getting it for me, I donated it to a school so that way they could have board games in their classrooms. And
That's nice.
yeah, and part of me wishes that I kept it because I think it would be really cool. So I might have to go get another copy. And like Devin said, it is a heavy game, like 3.5 pounds.
I
Yeah.
walked by it and I'm like, oh, this is the one Devin was talking about. And I lifted it. I'm like, oh man, that's heavy.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
all I did with it the whole weekend. I just lifted it up. I'm like, that's so heavy.
like you said, it's a little slab of marble.
Yeah.
It's
And
marble.
it would definitely be a great, like, definitely be a talking piece if it's on your
Yeah.
coffee table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a good game. Like I said, it first off, it's heavy, so you can be, you don't, if you're walking to your car late at night, just carry this, you're fine. But at the same point, like when Sean and I were playing, you could see the smoke coming out of both of our ears, trying really hard to get the other person to screw up so we could push them off. And I think
Yep.
one game lasted about 20 minutes because we could not
Wow.
get the other person to make a mistake. But it was such a fun game.
Wow.
Yeah, such a
Who
fun
won?
game. I won in the end.
Sean won.
Riker beat me,
I
but
thought I had him.
oh yeah, I got really scared because I was like, I thought I made a big mistake. I was like, oh, I'm going off, but it just so happened that I turned the scarab just the right way, and I was like, whoo, because I was like, I'm going off, like Sean won, but again, yeah, and then I played Riker and Riker beat me in like 10 seconds, so whatever. That's Riker, but anyways, Yeah, so it's totally, if it's something that you're interested in, again, it's a really beautiful piece. And it would sit
It
really
is
well
very pretty.
yeah, it
Mm.
would sit really well on like a coffee table as a conversation piece, as a playing piece as well. So
Mm.
all right, we're going to jump to our next game that you guys played. I didn't get a chance to try it out again this time, but Solar Gardens.
Yep, I think that's all me. One second, gotta get up my little my thing here. Solar Garden. So this one's less of a mouthful. The designer is Alex Cutler. The artist is Daniel Clark, and the publisher is Darrington Press. So we actually played this originally back at Unplugged, and we were looking for something on, I think it was Saturday night. We're just like, we just need something easy to play that we've played before, but that we haven't played a lot. And this, we came up with this because it kind of just fit the bill. And we all decided this is a really good game to just play at PAX. You just grab it. It's not too long. It's pretty easy to learn. But basically, you have a map of a garden, and you get these tiles, and you're trying to place the tiles in such a way that you get the most points. So it's not like that hasn't been done before. That's like a ton of different games. That's Carcassonne. That's King Domino. But this one, the way you take the tiles, the person that like is the first player
Yeah.
takes a tile, and if they don't like it, they pass it to the second player. If that person doesn't like it, they pass it around. It can go all the way around the table. The last player that is allowed to discard one tile. Next time it goes around, and they have to take it. And so it goes like that till everyone's taken a tile. And then then the round's over, and it moves to the next person. The next person's it, and they get all the passes. They get like 5 passes. So it's really interesting in that way that you can just like you can kind of screw over somebody else. I don't think that's really what we were looking for. We were just like, oh, this is terrible for me. Here you go.
Mhm.
But you can be like, oh, I wouldn't mind this piece, but oh man, that's going to really screw you over because you only have one piece left that you're looking for or something. You give it to that person. So you could kind of do it either way, but it's just a really pretty nice, easy game. And it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, like Manny said, it doesn't really do, for the most part, like, it doesn't do anything new. It's a bit of a point salad game and trying to figure out how you wanna get, the most points, but, yeah, like, the way that the way the kind of the I don't want to say drafting, 'cause it's not really drafting, but, like, the way the
Yeah.
tile picking is definitely kind of it's definitely kinda unique, and I like that passing. It's a little
Yeah.
bit it's a little bit of a push your luck, especially when, like, you're for, like, the 2nd or 3rd player, and then you're like, "Okay, well, if I don't take this tile, I have to take the next one, and so am I just gonna have to hope? And I definitely got screwed on that. Like I passed on one tile, and then like the next tile was like the exact same tile except except it was worth 1 point less. And I was
Yeah.
oh man,
Should just take the other one.
should I take the
Yeah.
first one?
Or when you're
Um,
looking for something really specific, and maybe you're the first player, so you can keep passing until you get to that 5th one when you have to take it. But you're just like, "Nope, nope, nope," and just keep if you're looking for something super, super specific.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just like you said, Mandy. I already own games, that kind of point salad games that
Mhm.
kind of do similar things. So like
Yeah.
I definitely don't feel like I need to buy this game because I already have other games I like more that kind of but yeah, this is a great one for like I said, you're at PAX and you're like, oh hey, yeah,
Yeah.
let's play Soul Gardens again. So
It's funny because I think I like this point salad game more than some of the ones I have, but I just already own them. So I'm like,
Mhm.
you know,
that's fair.
I'm kinda lazy. I don't wanna get rid of it. I don't know. I'll just keep playing this one at PAX. We'll keep bringing it up at every PAX.
Yeah.
Well, again, we played it at PAX Unplugged originally. That's where we first
Yep.
played this,
Yep.
and
Yep.
Yep.
I had a blast with it. And then when you
Yeah.
guys said we played, I was like, oh man, I like that game.
You missed it.
I missed it. I missed it.
Well, you're gonna have to buy it, Sean, then we can
Yeah.
play
No,
whenever we want.
no. So one of you, my shelf of shame is too big. I can't
It's
add
true.
more. I don't want to
It's
add
true.
more.
It won't be on the shelf of shame if you just play it.
Well, so maybe someone who doesn't have a lot of shame can buy it, and we can play theirs.
This
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
you see all this is like as much as I have. I don't have a lot of shelf space.
So then you get one more, and then get rid of one. You'll
I
be
don't
fine.
have any room
Well,
for it.
well, I can see I can see a few games in your shelf that I would recommend you just get rid of.
Yeah, right.
There's one specifically over, I think, your
Actually,
right shoulder.
we sold that one right there
Oh, did you?
at
Oh,
PAX, yeah.
Oh,
you need to update your background then.
We do. This is not up to date. We sold Elfin Rose. I'm looking. I'm trying to see. I don't think I think everything else on here we kept. Go look over there.
There's
What was
one
that one?
way up to the
Oh, I
top
kept
that.
that.
Which
This
one's that?
one? Oh,
That one way up
that's a
Yeah,
there.
gift.
that
I'm
that
gonna
game
gift that to Sean at
that
Christmas. I'm
just
gonna wrap it up.
that game just needs to go.
Sorry, just needs
No,
to
it's
go.
such a good game.
Sorry, just needs to go.
It's such a
Yep.
good game.
Yeah.
Final thoughts
Good game in
on
the fireplace.
final thoughts on Solar Gardens before we kick it over
Good
to the next game.
game. Like it.
Yeah, it's a solid game.
It's a
Solid
solid
game.
game. All right.
If you don't have a point salad game already, grab this one. It's a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the next game we're talking about is the next one I'm going to talk about, and I am super excited to talk about this one. This is called Kingdoms: The Battle of the Five Realms.
Why does he have lightning coming out of his eyeballs?
I don't know, but it was amazing. This is such a great game.
That's my first question.
So this is put out by Proper Play Games. Cassie Garcia is the creator. Jacob Garcia is the artist. It's about 30 minutes per player, 2 to 4 players. It's a formation-driven area control. So I got to play this game with the creator and their family and friends. It was such a fun. Now, when I walked up to it, I was like, "Oh, this looks kind of cool." And when I talked to Cassie about it, she was explaining how it played and everything else, and I was like, "Oh wow, this sounds really cool." And every time I went there was already someone playing, and they were kind of playing the demo, but they were also playing, like, trying to play some of the longer game. So finally, through talking with them, we exchanged phone numbers, and I'm like, text me when it's open and I'll come back and I'll come over and take a look. So she texted me, and then around 4:00 on Sunday, I ran over and I finally got to play. And unfortunately, I only got to play an hour because we were going to the Megathon. But first off, I want to thank I want to thank Dakota, Amber, and Jade for playing against me. Jade, you owe me a rematch because So for you guys, Jade and I were on opposite sides of the table, and the way it works is that you're playing cards from your hand, and the way the cards work is that they have a coordinate on it, like E18 or A1. And the way the board is set up, on each side of the board, there's A through, I forget what it is, and on the other, and then on my side, there's A through whatever. And then on the right and left side, depending on how you're coordinating the board, it's 1 through whatever, and then it's the opposite 1 through whatever. So it goes, if you're looking at it from top to bottom, it goes 1 through whatever. I forget what the last number is. And then on the left side, it starts at 1 on the bottom and goes to the top. So it's a pretty cool thing. So you have these coordinates that will line up at some point. You play that card and you put an army in that area. And then it's not a rolling of the dice to see whose army beats who. You have conquerors that you play that will wipe out an army, and then you can put your own army there. There's explorers, so you don't really need to play a coordinate. You just send an explorer, and he puts an army there. There is the wizard, which lets you take a couple turns. Depending on how many armies you have in reserve, you can turn one of them to a captain. So now you can take 2 turns or make 2 actions. It is such a cool game. The object is to take over parts of the realm. So take over 2 parts of the 2 realms of the map. And the cool thing about talking with Cassie is that she started making a lore about this whole thing. So there's a lore behind this whole game, which is really, really cool. So going back to why Jade owes me a rematch, we were sitting on 2 opposite sides, and I pull a card for the world event, and it says something about her place gets attacked, and I was like, oh, I feel really bad, like, I don't want to attack you, it's not me, it's the card. And she's like, yeah, not a problem, we're teammates, we'll be fine, fist bump, no problem. 2 turns later, she plays a card and starts coming after the castle that I'm working on. Betrayal. After we fist bumped, we agreed we're going to be in an alliance, and then it turned into a big war. And it's so fun because again, there's a little bit of strategy behind it because you have to figure out where you're going to place your armies. You can move them, you can, get more armies, and as you play world cards, some of them will wipe away your armies, some of them will bring you more armies. It is such a cool game. I cannot, and I this is not kickstarted yet. It's going to be starting in May, I believe is what she said. And that it's so cool. Um, Again, I was so excited to play this game. I was so excited to meet Cassie and her friends and her family. I cannot thank you guys enough for letting me play with you guys on this game. This was such a fun game. I cannot wait for it to come out. Please keep a lookout on Kickstarter for it. Like I said, I think it's about mid-May is when it's supposed to come out. She's been doing 4 years of playtesting for this, so it's been something that's
Wow.
a big passion of hers. Yeah, it's been great. And her, she's also got other games out, Repeat Offenders, which I did buy from them. I don't have the graphic for it, but it's basically you have two tiles that have letters on them, and you have to start a word. You have to have a word that starts and ends with both those tiles. Um, it's I didn't get a chance to play it. They did have the demo set out, but unfortunately, I was getting ready to run with you guys.
Mm.
But yeah, I backed it because I am such a big proponent of this publisher, of this art developer. It is such a great game. I cannot wait to
So
get it.
would you say this kind of the way you're explaining it almost sounds like it's like a newer, upgraded version of Risk. Would you say that that is true or no?
Mm, Not really,
No,
because
not
Risk,
really.
no, because Risk you can place your own armies wherever
Yeah,
you want to. This one here, you
right.
can only place your armies where you have the cards for. And then
I
again,
see.
you have to look at the coordinates. So you have to kind of strategize on which castles you're going to. Because once you take over a round by taking over the two or three castles, depending on the player count, um, you know, once you take that over, it cannot be taken back. So then you have to
Mhm.
kind of, you have to kind of keep people in check as you're playing. So then you got to watch
Hmm,
the coordinates and everything else.
cool.
It's such a
I
fun
like
game.
the coordinate aspect seems really cool.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
such a.
I've never seen that before,
I've seen that
other than
once.
Battleship.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, no, this is such a cool game. And again, Cassie, Amber, Dakota, Jade, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I wish you the biggest success in the world for this game. This is such a great game. So that is my
Yeah.
take on Kingdoms: The Battle of the Five Realms.
I'm
We're
looking
gonna
forward to
jump
trying
over.
that when you get it.
What's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking forward to
We're
trying this when you get it.
I
yeah, we are.
yes, it's going to be and this one will not sit on the shelf of shame. I can tell you that
Yeah.
right now. This will be played the minute I get it into the house. I'm telling
I
you
want
now.
to know I need to know the lore behind why he has lightning bolts coming from his eyeballs.
All right. Well, again,
I need to
I
know.
can reach out to Cassie. I got her number, so maybe that's one thing I'll have to reach out to her and
There you
ask.
go.
So, but
Need to
yeah,
know.
such a great game. So, all right, Sean, we're getting to the game that you were excited to talk about,
Yeah,
Orchestra. I want to hear about this. I actually got to play with you for a little
yeah,
bit.
You did.
yeah. Orchestra, which is designed by Rogerio Lorenzo and J.O. Toledo. The artist was Rogerio Lorenzo and Weberson Santiago, and it was and published by Board Game Bureau. Though I say published, but it hasn't actually been published yet. Um, I should probably start by saying this game is not available to purchase at retail yet. Uh, in fact, the crowdfunding campaign started literally today. I went to look it up and was like, oh, it just happened today.
There it
And
is.
it's funny. It's being hosted by a company called Guitars, which apparently is a Brazilian competitor to Kickstarter. Until I had never heard about it until a few hours ago. So it only has about 200 backers so far, so it may never make it to retail, but we'll see. I hope it does because I enjoyed it. Yeah, so they had it set up in the first looks area, which is basically games that are kind of like they're either they're brand new or maybe they're coming out soon, and they just have them set up permanently set up so you can anybody can just sit down and play it. You don't have to check it out or anything. And the first thing attracted to me was like the main board looked like a symphony hall. It had like this whole big area in the center for where you can play put like all these kind of audience member tokens, and then they had this kind of semicircle for the actual orchestra where it had like these little imprints where you can put the meeples. I was like, oh, are you actually like putting like your meeples in the orchestra? Which yes, that is what you're doing. Um, it just looks so cool, and I enjoy good orchestra. I've played in orchestras before, so the idea of building one in what appeared at the time to be a worker placement game was just really intriguing. So it took a little while for us to get over there, and but we finally got to some people to we got finally got some people to sit down, and basically you're building a musical academy. You kind of start off with some beginner musicians and one professional, and over the course of the game, you're placing your meeples in a variety of locations, mostly on your personal board to earn money and prestige for playing for small venues. You can use social media to kind of advertise and try to gain some fame for your academy. You slowly upgrade your meeples so that they are better musicians, and you can upgrade your academy so that you can, because you start with only being able to do like one musical section. Like maybe you are like the string section, that you have, that your musicians, that your academy promotes. But you can upgrade it so you can include percussion and brass and woodwinds. And then there's ways you can add audience members to the different sections of the game, and you start the game with this kind of private card where you'll get bonus game points at the end game if you have your audience members in specific seats. And also, sorry, you're also competing to kind of gain the coveted conductor space, which will earn you a lot of points. Um, Now, we did not play a complete game. We only played a few rounds because it looks like it was a very, very long. But we played enough to kind of get a feel for it. And it definitely feels like a very solid worker placement game. Several different avenues you can get points for some replayability. I really like the theme a lot. I will say the rulebook definitely needs some work, and I hope they kind of touch that up a little bit before it comes out to purchase. We were really struggling to figure out the rules of how to upgrade your musicians because it was not very clear.
Yep.
Um, but my wife and I both really enjoyed it. I'll definitely be purchasing it when it comes out. Um, yeah, just looks like a really, really fun kind of worker placement, kind of Euro style game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It was such a fun game. I did enjoy it. You know, I'm glad that they had the enforcer kind of understand how the game plays and teaching it,
Yes,
because the rule book was
that
a
was very
little,
helpful.
yeah, the rule book was, while somewhat helpful, there was still some things that left questions about. But and you were really excited to play, so I was feeding off your excitement to try this game, and it didn't fail. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good game. I want to play a full game, but it looks like it's going to be a long game.
Yeah, yeah, and like the nice game, we won't be playing it anytime soon, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll probably be a year or two before we see a copy of this out in the wild. But
Yeah.
um,
I think I sat down just because you guys were playing and I was kind of finishing up something. I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take a rest and hang out." And it looked so complicated. Not having you guys were already in it, and I'm like, "There's so much going on here."
Yeah.
And just watching you guys take turns, I'm like, I just couldn't even gather what was happening. I'm like, "This goes over here, just go over here." It just looks very, complicated, but, I'm sure it
yeah,
is less complicated once you know the rules. Like, I just sat down and watched you guys, so
yeah, I think, like, a lot of it, like the enforcer kind of talked about it. He said you're mostly focusing on your academy because, like, the actual placing your people on the in the orchestra and the audience tends to be a little more the end game, which makes sense because you're not putting
yeah.
beginner musicians in orchestra. You gotta work them up to become the virtuosos and the instrumentalists. So you're kind of doing a lot of stuff on your own on your own board to start. But I think, yeah, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to keep track of, with a few different areas. But I think once we kind of did a round or two, we're like, okay, I think I got it. I think I kind of know where this is going. Did you kind of feel that way too, Sean?
Yeah, it was really, once we had the what was happening with each action, I think at that point it was pretty easy to play the game. I think we had a better understanding of what happens. I place my worker here, this is what happens. I place my worker here, this happens. So I think that it would have been interesting to play a lot more. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time, because again, it was in the first look, so we didn't have a lot of time to play it. But
Yeah.
but at the same point, I really wish we could have spent more time playing this game, because I think I would have liked to see how it plays out when you do get to that high level virtuoso or instrumentalist that can be put into the orchestra pit and get you extra points and money and fame. I think that would have been a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm I'm looking forward to, the first conflict where, like, I'm trying to get audience members in this one area to fulfill my private goal, and then somebody else puts something there first. I'm like, no, I need to put my people there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Get
it.
your dirty audience members off of my seat.
Yeah, no, when you grab that, I can't wait for it to, let me know what happens when it comes out, because I'd be really interested to sit down and play with you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this one.
That's really cool.
I kept getting confused between this one. You kept talking about wanting to play this one, and then when we would go into Battleground Games area, you would hold up one that looked like it had a violin on it or something, or a cello, or it was a white
Yeah,
box,
so
I think.
that's a new one. That one is available to play. It's
Right.
what's
Luthier.
it called?
Luthier.
Luthier,
Yeah.
yeah. So that one's looks a little different. In that one, you're making instruments for famous
Oh,
musicians.
okay,
Um,
gotcha.
yeah, that was something where, like, I wanted to try that one too. I didn't get a chance. I did kind of watch a video to kind of get an idea on it.
Yeah,
So that's what I want to try. I want to check that one out later too. That was another interesting one.
cool.
Sweet. All right, Sean, I'm going to talk about the game that you didn't get a chance to check out, but you really wanted to, was Aquaria.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm.
Aquaria is created by Thomas Hollick. And Sean, you should know Thomas Hollick very well. He's the same person that put out SETI. So
One of my favorite
one of
games.
your
Oh.
favorite games. So yeah, Thomas Hollick created this game.
So I'm probably gonna like this
Um,
game.
I am I am going to apologize and not pronounce the artists that are on this, because I do not want to mess up their names, and I don't want to bring shame to them or myself for messing up their names. But there's 3 artists that, if you go on the Board Game Geek, you can see the artists of it. And this is put out by Delicious Games. But the art on this is so cool. You can see kind of from the box that we have on the screen right now. The art is so cool. Basically, you are building a saltwater aquarium. Um, the object is to fill it with fish, to fill it with plants, to fill it and get a sort of camaraderie between clownfish, with anemones, and I cannot pronounce that name right, so I'm not going to even try to say it again. Plants. You're trying to make sure that the oxygen levels are good, so that way you can put more fish in there, because the more fish you put in, the more oxygen it needs. And then you got to feed them. You have to collect food. Riker and I got to sit down and play this because he's a big aquarium aficionado. He actually, I'm looking at one right now. There's a 35-gallon tank sitting right there. There's a 55-gallon tank sitting upstairs. So he was pretty excited to play this game. It's a worker placement. You are moving. You have this little thing that you take, and you're taking actions on this wheel, and you put your little meeple on the wheel, and then you do what it says. So I'm going to put more oxygen in my tank, and then on that wheel there's like a bonus. So if you're the first person to go there, you get this. If you're the second, and then once you go there, you turn the dial, and the next person, and so on and so forth. When the round resets, the dials that didn't move get extra little pearls that you can use to buff up those wheel actions. So, like, again, if I wanted to play 2 fish, I need to play 2 pearls. Or if I want to play 1 fish, I can just pay nothing and just put a fish in my tank. I just have to pay the oxygen that's available. But if I wanted to play like 3 fish, then I need like 4 pearls or something like that. So the pearls are like to help buff up those wheels. And it was such a fun game. It was a little confusing. I wish the rulebook was a little bit better. But when the enforcer came over and explained it to us, because again, this was also in first look, once she explained it to us, it went really well. We were going pretty quickly. We figured it out, and it was a really, really good game. The problem was Riker liked it, but it wasn't one of his favorite games. He is a freshwater, he likes the freshwater tank. So this is all saltwater, so it's not something that he's really into.
This is the play at PAX game for him.
Yeah. He'll play it again if we played it at PAX, but it's not something I would play at our house. Now, Sean, I think this would be something that you would really appreciate, because again, you're also a tank aficionado. that
That is true.
you
Yeah.
have a
Yeah. I
75,
definitely
75, 95. What is it?
90. It's
90,
90 gallon.
90-gallon tank.
That's insanity.
So I think this would be something that you would really, really enjoy. This would be something that would totally make it to your table a bunch of times because it's such a fun game.
Yeah.
And from what I've read, they are looking at making an expansion for it. So I don't know if it's out yet or if they're making it or how that's coming about, but I do know that there is an expansion coming for it. So
Yeah. I'm bummed I didn't get to try. I didn't get to try this with you and Riker. Pesky pin trading getting in the way.
yeah, it was
I
again
definitely
getting
wanted.
recalled.
I definitely wanted to give this one a try, and didn't get around to it. So it's definitely one that I really want to check out. Somebody, I think you were saying that somebody had said that it was very true. It felt very true to actual like managing
Mm,
a tank.
Yeah, yeah. You have to make sure the filters are done, and you have to make sure you feed them. And if you don't feed them, you lose points. And nothing perishes. None of the fish perish or anything else that you have to. If you don't feed them, you just lose points. Um,
mm,
Mhm.
so you just got to make sure on the next round you get fish food to make sure you're feeding them, so you get the points because every time you feed them, you get more points. So
mm,
that's the way it works. And it's cool because each fish has a certain fish food type they eat, blue, green, or yellow. So you have to make sure you have that food. So again, on the wheel, there's a place to get that food. So, then there's also bonuses on the other wheels to get food. So it was really cool. It was a really cool concept. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, Thomas Hollick, you love SETI. He put a lot of thought into this game, and it works really well. It's a really fun game.
Now there like do the different fish like are there rules, but like these fish can go with these other ones, but not these others, and you have to kind of plan what or
There is like what do you call it when a symbiotic relationship. So like if you have an anemone and you have a fish, a clownfish, they kind of work together. I don't know if
Mhm.
there's anything about like I can't put this in the tank if I have this. Again,
mm,
Okay.
we played like 5 or 6 rounds because that's all they were doing the demo for. I mean, we probably could have
Yeah.
played more, but there was a couple of people kind of standing over us, like waiting to see if they were going to play, like if they could play. So we kind of played a couple rounds. Riker said he liked it, but just not something that we wanted in the house. So we kind of just gave up and gave it
mm.
to someone else to play. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it was. I liked this game. It was a good game. It's totally on a play again list.
Cool.
It's kind of funny because we don't have a lot on our list that I wouldn't play this game again. This PAX.
Yeah,
Maybe we're not critical enough. Maybe we need to be more critical.
maybe. Although we did spot the one game that from Unplugged, we all were like, nah, and we spotted it at
Oh yeah,
East, and we're like,
but
mm,
man,
yeah,
so we're getting a little off topic, but I'm going to talk about this because Mandy and I, was it Mandy? You were with me and we
yeah.
walked by and we're talking to the people like, how do you like it? They're like, oh, what did you think? And we're
We
like,
just started. They're like, we just started, and we're like,
we're like,
yeah,
like, they're like, oh, is it that bad? It's like, well, it's not what you think.
right. It's
Like,
just not what you think it
Oh,
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
yes. I
Yeah,
think I think I know which game you're talking about.
I will
it's
gladly
just
say
not
it.
what you
I will
think
gladly
it
say
is.
it is Pulitzer. I really wanted to like that game. It's
Yeah,
Okay.
just not the game I thought it was. Unfortunately, I just didn't like it. But yeah,
yeah,
um, it's
yeah.
again, if you're into those type of games, and again, we're not talking about that right now. But if you're into those type of games, that would be a game totally for you. There are people that love those, that love specific games. I know there's
Yeah.
games that I love that no one's gonna like, and I know there's games that people are gonna love that I'm not gonna like, and that's fine.
Mm,
Pulitzer was not for me. I don't think it was for our group. We thought we were walking
mm.
into something different, but
I think it
anyways,
was a little bit the expectations we had
yeah,
going into it, and
yeah,
then we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this isn't what we thought it was."
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
Yeah.
but going back to our non-critical things, like
right.
Aquaria was such a good game.
Yeah,
Um,
everything I played this time I kinda liked,
yeah,
you know?
it was such a fun, like it was such a fun PAX. It was such a fun
Yeah.
PAX. All right, we got what look like 3 more games we're going to talk about. So let's get into that next. The next one is, which again, the next two I never got a chance to play. So I'm waiting to hear what you guys think. The first
Alright.
one that we're bringing up is Flow. This looks like a cool. The art looks really cool on this.
Yeah, it is. So oh man, I didn't even look at these names before I
Yeah.
wrote
So
them out. Oh,
again, I wouldn't. So again, so we don't.
it would be really bad if I tried to
Yeah,
pronounce these. We're just gonna go with they're out on Board Game Geek. The publisher is Brain Games. Um, I would even try to just do the first names, but the first names, like Justina is like the closest one I could get for a designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all out there, and I don't wanna destroy anyone's names, but there's a lot of them. The artwork is amazing. So Sean and I played this, and it's it's really I liked it. I thought it was a clever idea. It is basically you have a what is it, a 1-minute timer? And you have to go really
Yeah,
fast yeah. You around the table, you have this one as soon as that timer flips, the first person picks up a tile, and the tiles just have, like, a path on them, or maybe the path is, like, destroyed by a boulder or something, right? So you have on the, corners of the board, there's, different animals that are on this picture here, if you can see them. They're a cat, a dog, gopher, a lemur, something. So you're trying to get all
yeah,
the animals onto the boat, and the boat is in the middle. So you're drawing tiles, and the tiles have these paths on them. So you have to make paths from the animal to the boat, and you're trying to get all of the animals on there. You have a time limit. You have 1 minute to go around as frantically as possible and go around the table and draw one and put it down, draw one and put it down, draw one and put it down. And at the end, if you haven't gotten all the animals on there yet, you roll the dice, and it's kind of a grid formation where there's numbers on the side. There's two dice, and you like line up the numbers, and you figure out where basically a giant wave comes and takes away everything in that path. And
yeah.
so
So
you
one column and one row
right, and so
based
you
on the
kinda have
dice.
to start over getting those well, not start over, but you may have some of your tunnels or your paths or whatever may have been destroyed going to the boat. So you might have to redo those. I can't recall how many rounds you get before you just don't do it, before you just
Oh,
don't
I don't
get
know
it.
if it
You
ever.
know, we
I
beat
don't know if
it,
they
so
ever
I don't
came
know.
up. Oh, I think if you ran out of tiles, I think
Oh,
you
that's what it was. I
lost.
think if you ran
Yeah,
out of tiles, and I think we just barely didn't we were fine. We did make
yeah.
it. Then that you can like so it's that's the base game. It's a very simple concept and it's a fun time, but I can see how it would very easily become like, okay, been there, done that. You know, we've beaten it enough times that it's kind of boring now. But they've made it so that you can make it harder with different cards that they have so that maybe you start with boulders on there or maybe the boulders don't I think it was the boulders don't get wiped um by the waves or something like that. There's a few different things you can do
Mhm.
to up the ante a little bit
Mhm.
and make it a little more interesting and
Cool.
so make it a little harder. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I Sean, you just said like not being critical. It was fine. Like I mean, like I said, like we played it the one time,
Yeah.
and I was just kind of like all right, yeah, I'm probably good. I don't think I need to buy this game.
It seemed
Um,
yeah, I think you'd get bored quickly. 'Cause
yeah,
like, we talked about, island, what is it? Deserted island? Desert island?
Forbidden
What is it?
Forbidden
Island.
Island.
Forbidden island. I'm like, something about an
Yeah,
island. And you said, like, after you do it a few times, you're kinda done.
yeah. This is I mean, I think this would be a good gateway game for, to kind
Mhm.
of to bring people in who maybe are not familiar with games. This would definitely be a good game to play with kids. I don't think I'm gonna purchase myself, but, it was fine. Like, the game that we played, it was fine. I got the
Mhm.
it was interesting take on kind of the cooperative. Like
Yeah.
the frantic putting
I like
tiles
the
down kind of made it
franticness.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy,
I like the timer.
could this be a board game? Could this be a gateway game on Board Game Geek?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Well,
I bet you it
what's the
is.
rating? What's
Oh, man, you're gonna make me go
I
look
want to
it
make
up.
you look it up. I want to make you look it up. See, I didn't get a chance to see this. I walked by it a couple times, and everyone kept like trying to pull me over to play. But at the same time, I was in the process of running to either a panel or running somewhere else. So I was like, "I'll catch you next time. I'll catch you next time." So I never got a chance to play it. And then
Mm,
the one night where it was Saturday night when you guys played it because I had Riker with me, and you guys were over there playing, and so I didn't get a chance to
Yeah.
go over and play.
mm,
Yeah,
So
Manny and I, we played with my wife too because she had been wanting to play it, and I think my
mhm.
wife had the same reaction afterwards. She was like, all
Yeah, she
right,
okay,
that was
we tried.
okay. We don't need to play it again.
Yeah, the weight on Board Game Geek is 1.2.
so
Yeah, that
definitely
sounds about
Very
right.
easy.
a gateway game.
Definitely,
Definitely a gateway game.
definitely.
All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
it was cute. The graphics were great. Loved the graphics. Very
Mhm.
simple, easy to learn game.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, so Sean, I'm gonna ask you: is the next game we're talking about an easy to learn game? Pack the essentials.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It wasn't too tricky. Pack the Essentials, designed by Jacqueline Atkins. The artists are Adam Lukmensky and Antonis Papanui. Published by Wacky Wizard Games. So Pack the Essentials, it's a polyomino style game, very similar to like Isle of Cats or like Indian Summer. Um, Kind of like the Tetrisy game where you're kind of trying to put pieces together and trying to make them all fit into like in an area. So the idea is that you're packing your suitcase and with all these different shaped puzzle pieces and all the things you're putting in, so like all the clothes and whatnot are all the different shapes and sizes. There are certain goals for each game. There's a bunch of cards you can put out to have certain goals. They can get more points depending on like how depending on how you put your pieces down. And everybody's kind of working towards the same goals. And you also get points for having the most similarly colored tiles that you connect together. There's 5 different colors. So, if you somehow manage to get like a ton of greens all connected, you get like a crap ton of points. And you can also spend these little rat tokens that you can get to flip the puzzle pieces to their cat side, which gets you more points as well. Um, so each round there's only 4 pieces to choose from, and the first player starts. It's not where the first player gets to choose which piece they want. Instead, the first player gets to choose the order that they're going to choose. And there's what depending on whether you choose one first, second, third, or fourth, you get different rewards. And kind of generally the rewards, if you go last, you get better rewards than if you go first. So there is some incentive to not picking your piece first, but it kind of felt like every round that we played, whoever was first was usually going first or second because generally it was like, I really want this piece.
Mm.
Um, there's a particular piece they wanted. Though that being said, I didn't feel like we really got into each other's way that often. There was only a few times where someone else grabbed a piece that I wanted before I could get it. Um, Overall, it was fun. It was cute. The graphics were very cute. It was very easy to learn. Pretty simple. Um, it didn't do anything extraordinary that hasn't been done by other games like this before. I think this would be it's a pretty good polyomino gateway game. This would be a good choice because again, it's easy to learn and easy to teach, and it's pretty cute. Um, if you like I said, if you have like Isla Cats, you probably don't need to buy this game. I feel like they kind of scratches that same itch.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I have a question. So on the box, and we're showing the box right now on the screen,
Mhm.
it shows like again a suitcase with a bunch of like jackets, shirts, and socks and stuff. But then there's also like
Cats.
5, 6, 7 cats. I think I count. So are the
One.
cats part
Yeah.
of the game? Like, do they get in the way, or what's up with the cats?
Do you have to pack them?
So I was kind of expecting that. I thought there might be some kind of so basically all the pieces when like we can choose them, they start on their clothing side, but you get these they call them pack rat tokens, and you can spend one to flip it over to the cat side,
Mm.
which basically it's the exact same piece just flipped, and it's got a cat, and you get bonus you get bonus points for how if you get more if you for every cat that you have in your suitcase you get bonus points.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I guess I was expecting there to be a little bit more with the cats. Um, the one like I remember when we kind of read that, it was like, oh, that that's it. You just flip the piece and get points. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting like maybe the cats interfere, maybe they cause problems, maybe like you're trying to, but yeah, there wasn't. It just like you just flip the piece over and you just get extra points. So there's nothing really
Okay.
special about it.
Oh, all right.
I I feel maybe the cats are just kind of a bit of a. It was like it was more of a like a draw, like oh hey
Yeah.
look this is a game about cats, and it's not really.
Not really.
So
I
Huh.
mean, like I said, I saw the cats on it. I was like, oh, this is got to be cool. And then, like you were saying, it's kind of like Isle of Cats. I was like, oh, so is there something
Yeah.
like, do they get in the way? Like you were saying, like, do they get in the way, or what do they? Do they cause problems? And you have to find a way to get them out. Like you have to play a toy to get them out of the way, or what? But,
Nope.
um,
no, I guess I'm thinking because with I Like Cats, you've got like this big boat, and you're putting your like little cat pieces on it to trying to like and certain you're trying to make certain goals, and like you're kind of expanding to try to cover as much of the boat as possible. And this is a similar idea. You have like a suitcase, you're trying to shove everything in. It's just that instead of cats, it's closed, but you can flip the tile over to turn it into a cat,
Mm.
mhm,
and that's basically it.
got it, Got it.
Cool.
All right. So we're going to get to the last game we're going to talk about tonight. And this one here, we are talking about earlier, we are talking about the Friday Night Frenzy, where
Mm.
Mandy and I got to play in a board game tournament. The way it worked for that tournament was they give you three games, but they don't tell you what those games are in advance. They give you three games that you play. So you literally sit down at the table, they walk over, they drop a game in front of you, and they say, "All right, you got
There you go.
an hour to play. Go ahead." And the first game we got was Harmonies, which was great. I had never played that before.
Me
Um,
neither.
so it was definitely a big learning curve. And I came in second on that.
Ooh,
Man,
I came in dead last.
you came in last.
Yep.
Um, and then the way it works is that for every place you come in, you get certain amount of points. So like first gets 5, second gets third, first third gets 1, and last gets nothing. So we had to play Harmonies, which again, that was a really fun game. The next game we had to play was Sorrow, and I wasn't bitter until Mandy decided to come back on my side of the board, because I was doing really well, keeping myself like just isolated and bobbing around, and then Mandy decides to place a tile over on my side of the board, and then all heck broke loose, and yeah, it was
It
bad.
was gonna happen. It was gonna happen.
And
At
because
some
of that,
point.
because she decided to come on my side of the board, all of a sudden I was the first one out. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was horrible for me. So I got no points for that. The next game we had to play was Zombie Dice, which I have played a ton of. Riker, when that game came out, we were at PAX. Riker played it, and when he was younger, and we have it. So I knew that game really,
Mhm.
really well. It's a push your luck dice
Mhm.
rolling game. One that Sean will
I'm terrible
never
at that
play.
game.
Yeah, Sean hates that game. But yeah, and I happened to finish first in that one, so I got 8 points, which just squeaked me into the semifinals. And the game we got to play for the semifinals was this game called Hot Streak. Basically, it's a mascot betting game. So there's a bunch of mascots. There is the queen, a fish, a hot dog, and a bear. And if you look, and right now I'm showing part of the game right here. Um, if you look at the mascots, they have like looks like a bear and a hot dog and whatever else, but you also see these little eyes, so you know that
Yep.
they're mascots. So you like, and it's kind of cool because the fish has the mouth open, but if you look inside the mouth of the fish, there's two little eyes that just stick out. There's two little white eyes that stick out, and the
Yeah.
object of the game is to see who can have the most money. Now, in the game, in the instructions, they tell you it's not about who has the most money. Um, because that's not what the game's about. But if you happen to do it that way, fine.
Mhm.
It's mostly about like when you have all the money, it's whatever your life outcome is, and we'll get to that in a second. So the way it works is that there's a bunch of cards showing on the table about who's going to move, and each character has like some different movement cards, and then there's some green cards which everyone moves. And so there's a bunch of face-up cards that say what's going to happen that round. Then what happens is that everyone has a secret set of cards of three, or we had three because we were eight. There was 7 of us playing, and so then we each sneak in one card. So now we don't know what those cards could be. Could it trip someone? Could it knock someone over? Could it veer them off the side of the map, like off the board? Like we don't know. So off the side of the track, I mean. So basically, we then shuffle these cards, and then before anything else happens, we all take these betting slips. And they're little cardboard betting slips, and they have a safe side and a risky side. The safe side, if they come in first, you get so many points. If they come in second, you get so many. I mean, coins. Third, you get so many coins. And if you take the risky side, the first place gets a lot of money. Second, third place get very little. And then there's side bets. Will a mascot fall down? Will they fall off the racetrack? Will two of them be down on the ground and knock themselves out type thing? It's like these little side bets, and you can either yes or no. And again, those have a safe side where if it happens, you gain money, and if you're on the safe side and you say and it doesn't happen, you don't really lose anything. But if you have a risky side, then and it doesn't happen, then you lose money. And you do that 3 times. So then you do the cards, you do whatever the actions say. So you move the queen up, you move whatever. If they fall down, they can like stumble because again they're in these mascots, so they could turn around. they could get knocked down. They can turn around. The helmet could throw them all off, and they could be running in the wrong direction. And they can run off the racetrack. They can legitimately go off the sides or run back off the end of the racetrack and whatever. And whoever gets first place at the end of the run, then you put the character. So if they go DQ'd, then they go to fourth place and third place and second, so on and so forth. Then at the end you pay out whoever came in first. You pay all those out, and then you do it again. You do it 3 times. It is such a fun and wacky game. I had a lot of fun with it, and I bought it. It was the cool thing about this is that the track that's on there. So if you're looking at the track, you kind of see it. It looks like I don't know, like a banner. It looks like a little banner, and you pull it out from the box like a banner. Like you literally just pull it out, and then when you're done, you roll it back up using this little knob that you just roll it back into the box. So the box is a box. It just looks like a shoebox. So it's really like compact. You can carry this around. I brought it into work hoping to play it one day, and it was so fun. And it was just like on the box it said, "I've never been so mad at a hot dog in my life." So like that kind of prompted me to say, okay, I have to buy this game. But it was such a fun game. I ended up ended up in third place in that game, and again made it to the finals. But the funny thing was that, like I said, at the end, you take what you've won, you go to the book, and it says, and you read the amount that you have. So like if you had $38, you flip to the page, it said 38. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and you are allowed to laugh. It kind of hurt my feelings when it happened. But I wear hats on the thing. So if you see me at PAX when you're there, I don't have a lot of hair on the top of my head. But so I had $38, and I read the thing, and it says, "You buy a back alley toupee and a seagull steals it."
Well, see, now you're making me wish I'd stayed awake and gone to the finals, because I went to bed. I went home, went to bed. I was so tired.
The fact that happened, and the whole table looked at me and started laughing because I am almost bald. And they were all laughing, and I turned and said, "Wow, I feel so called out." But it was such a fun game. Now, again, the game is Hot Streak. It's put out by CMKY. John Perry and Cecile Garapi are John Perry is the creator, and Cecile Garapi is the illustrator. It is such a fun game. It is such a silly game. And I could see why Magical Athlete, also put out by CMKY, in this game. It was just a fun game. I really want to play it with a group of people. It can be played up to 9 players. Someone said it could be played with more. There's rules you can turn into 9 players or more. So I don't know how that works. But yeah, it would be something that I think would be really silly to play. And I had a blast with it. And again, I still feel a little called out by their rule book when they said what I ended up with money and what my outcome of my life was. So yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
It was a lot of fun.
We'll have to play it.
Yeah, it's definitely a game night thing. We'll get a bunch of people together because it is so fun. It is so fun.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
So, final thoughts of PAX East. I'm going to start with Mandy. Mandy, what are your final thoughts of PAX East?
Great 4 days. I'm exhausted, and I may have come away with PAX Pox, which is why I keep saying, I don't know. I've had it worse. So far, it was still worth it. We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
And Sean, what about you? Final thoughts on PAX East?
I was already like starting to fight something when I got to PAX, and it totally kicked my butt. You may have caught it from me, Mandy. I'm very sorry.
Worth it.
But yep, I had a lot of fun. I got a lot of the pins that I was looking for. Add a lot to my collection, and got a few more board games on my radar. So nice. It was a great weekend.
Yeah, such a fun weekend. I love going with you guys. It's always a blast to hang out with friends and go to these things, and try new games, especially like Orchestra, and then playing with Harmonies with Mandy. And Slay the Spire that we got to play that that other people, because they were too busy collecting pins, they couldn't play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it was such a fun night, fun weekend. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, all right, everyone, that is our show for the week. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again in 2 weeks. Until then, may the dice rolls be ever in your favor. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Can we do it?